Hello everyone, it's Sunday afternoon. I wanted to put together a video for you guys for when it comes time to study for this 5-3, 5-4 quiz on law of cosines and area of a triangle. Now I know you haven't learned how to find the area of a triangle yet, but I'm going to work it into the lesson. It's pretty easy. It's all formula based, so I'm going to try to keep this lesson quick and just remind you of some things that you need to know. So first thing, when do we use the law of cosines? We use the law of cosines when we don't have a matching pair, like an angle A and a side A. And this will come in two varieties. It'll either come in a side-side-side variety or a side-angle-side variety. And when you have side-side-side, you're going to start with the largest side first. The reason is it leads to the best possible outcome for you. I don't want to get into that exactly right now. And it's also a good idea to check when you do this that sometimes side-side-side leads to no triangles. I'd always check to make sure that the sum of the two smaller sides exceeds the length of the third side. So we'll take a look at that as we go, and I'll try to work the rest in as we go. Again, I'm trying to keep this video under 5 minutes if I can, maybe 7. So let's take a look. Here we go. First problem asks you to find all the parts of ABC if A is 32 and B is 51 and C is 25. Let's make sure, first of all, that we're dealing with a proper triangle. So I've got 32 plus 25, the two smallest sides. Yes, that is greater than 41. It is a triangle. So let's go. Let's start it. So now the first thing I want to find is with a side-side-side. Remember, I'm going to find the largest side, or rather largest angle first, which will be across from the largest side. So I'm going to have to use the version of law of cosines that solves for angle B first. And that's going to be the one that's got B squared on the left-hand side. So here is our formula when B is on the left-hand side isolated. So let's plug in 41 squared equals 32 squared plus 25 squared minus 2 times 32 times 25 cosine of B. All right, so we'll plug in some numbers here. Take out the old handy calculator. 41 squared is 1681. Actually, pulling up my calculator now. Okay, 32 squared is 1024. 25 squared is 625. 2 times 32 times 25 is 1600. Look at that. It's a very common mistake for students to want to combine these three numbers. Don't do it. The 1600 is connected to the cosine of B. You cannot add together the 1024 and the 625 and then subtract 1600. It does not work. So let's rather say we have 1681 equals, I think the sum of those two is 1649 minus 1600 cosine B. And if I subtract over 1649, I get 32 equals negative 1600 cosine B. So if I do the inverse cosine of negative 32 over 1600. Let's find out what that is. We get 91.1 degrees. Okay, so I've got angle B, is 91.1. I need to find either A or C, and I don't care which one I do first because I've already found the largest angle. I've already found the obtuse angle. So I'm just going to do A because it comes first. And I'm going to use law of sines. Let's do that. All right, so sine of A, which I don't know, over 32 equals equals the sine of 91.1 over b, which is 41. So sine of a is 32. Sine 91.1 over 41. A is the inverse sine of all that above. I'm going to do that right now, so give me a moment. I get inverse sine of 32 sine 91.1 over, I need to put extra parentheses in there, over 41. And I'm getting 51.3. All right, I've got 51.3 for angle A, and then C is just the leftover bits from 180. 51.3 and 91.1, what is that, 142.4? I hope that's right. And the leftover from 180 is 37.6, or should I say the supplement of 142. Okay, so we're done. We've got A is 51.3. B is 90, I think we said 97.1. Oh my goodness, what did we say? 91.1. And C is 37.6. Summarize that all in a box. Okay, number 2, we are 6.5 minutes in on a 5-minute video, so let's see what we can do here. Looking at number 2, again, I've got a side, and a side. Let's begin by asking if the sum of the lengths of the two smallest sides is bigger than the length of the third side, question mark. That's a no. You can't form a triangle out of those side lengths. So guess what? We have no triangle. All right, and we'll look at example 3. We're going to go back later and do the areas, but I wanted to get all of our law of cosines out of the way. And I very much like these side angle side problems because I think they're a little bit easier, but it's all formula based, so it's all fairly easy. Here they give us M and R as sides and angle S. So what I'll need to find first, according to the law of cosines, is little side S, and that should be equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, minus 2 times the product of those sides, times the cosine of the angle that's between them. So I'm going to need a moment to calculate this, so let me just type this up real quick. And I'm going to get here 19.3 squared plus 8.2 squared minus 2 times 19.3 times 8.2 times cosine 37.1, and they're telling me that's about 187.3. So S must be the square root of all that. So we're going to type in square root of the previous answer. And that's 13.7. That's the side length, 13.7 for S. Great. All I need to do now is to come up with the other two angles for M and R. Now remember, when you're given side angle side and you find the first thing you find is an angle, you're going to use the smaller side with the law of sines. So that's going to give us what, when we set it up, we're going to do the sine of 37.1 over 13.7 equals the sine of R over 8.2. And therefore, the sine of R is 8.2 sine of 37.1 all over 13.7. Let's do that now. So R is the inverse sine of all that above, which is, let's do it, inverse sine of 8.2 sine 37.1 over 13.7. 21.2. Wonderful. Whenever you know two angles of a triangle, you know the third. So I've got 37.1 and 21.2. That's 58.3, which should leave 121.7 for the remaining angle. And there we go. See, we don't find m first because the law of sines, when you do inverse sine on a calculator, because the domain, or rather the range of that function is from -90 to 90, it will never give you a result of 121.7. Cosine will. Cosine's range is from 0 to 180. So I will use, that's why we go big with, we're given side, 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 because that first step is a law of cosines. And that will give us an angle between 0 and 180 if there is an obtuse angle there. But here, with when our second step is law of sines, that side m is the biggest side. It might have, or will have the biggest angle. And I just want to make sure that we don't use law of sines for something that might be an obtuse angle. Okay, let's go back very quickly because area formula is very quick for these two problems. We're going to do area formula. This is a side, side, side. So very quickly, I'm just going to say, what is what's called the semi-perimeter? That's known by S. So I'm going to do it down here. All right, we're going to say the semi-perimeter is 32 plus 41 plus 25 over 2. What is that? 73, 98 over 2, 49. Can I squeeze that there? Yes. So the area is just the square root of 49 times 49 minus 32, that's 17, times 49 minus 41, that's 8, times 49 minus 25, that's 24. I'm going to punch this in one very quick step on my calculator. So I'm going to do square root of 49 times 17 times 8 times 24. It's telling me 399.9. It's on sale. No units given, so I'm just going to say 399.9 units squared, and we're good to go. When it's side, angle side, we'll glitch it out here. When it's side, angle side, it's even easier. Let's take a look at that. Let's do number 3. Side, angle, side. Your area formula is 1/2. Now, the placeholders are AB sine C. So for us, it's going to be 1/2 MR sine S. So simple. 1/2 19.3, 8.2 times the sine of 37.1. You can enter that in one pass. So we'll say 1/2 19.3, 8.2 sine 37.1. My calculator says 47.7 units squared. And that's it. If you're watching this video early, I know we've not covered area formula yet. That's going to be later in the week, next week. Quiz will probably be early during the week of February 23rd, 24th, that area. I'll give you updates as we go along. So thanks for watching. And if I missed anything, put it in the comments and I will try to update you in class or with another video. Thanks all. Bye-bye.